Hey guys, up? Back with another video. This time I'm going to do my Monday Night Raw review from last night. The go-home show for Extreme Rules. Let's get this underway, shall we? We kicked off the show with as we usually do, with the Judgment Day. Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and Dominic Mysterio came out. And they cut a promo as usual. They hype up the matches. The match for Extreme Rules with Edge and Finn Balor. Finn Balor says he's going to make Edge quit, the usual kind of stuff. And then Dominic gets on the mic and he basically says that he hates his father and he's got a new family now and the Judgment Day. The same kind of stuff he's been saying over the past couple of weeks. Nothing new there. And then that leads straight into the first match of the evening, which is the Judgment Day of Finn Balor and Damian Priest taking on Rey Mysterio and AJ Styles. So, pretty cool stuff right there. Pretty cool stuff. Good opener. But of course, little Rey Mysterio keeps getting distracted by his big son. And, my family, they keep taking my family. And, yeah, that leads to AJ Styles wants to make the tag to Rey, but he keeps getting distracted by Rhea and Dom and all that stuff. So eventually at the end, the numbers game, as I say every freaking week, the numbers game get the better of AJ and Rey Mysterio, and AJ gets beaten very decisively by Finn Balor. And then after the match, Rey Mysterio goes to check on AJ, and AJ shoves him to the floor, which Rey Mysterio doesn't like very much, as you can imagine, and he walks off from AJ Styles and allows the Judgment Day to beat up AJ Styles, and Finn Balor's like, "Oh, this offer still stands, you know," basically. So there you go. That was the first segment and the opening match. It was fine. It did its job, and I'm not really that bothered too much about it. It was fine. Then we had the Bobby Lashley taking on Mustafa Ali in a non-title match. I think it was a non-title match. Basically, Bobby Lashley wanted someone to step up, and Mustafa Ali was like, "I'll step up because I've been waiting back here, waiting for someone to call my number." Basically, I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, that's not really a way to get, that's your fault, isn't it? Like You want an opportunity, but you're sitting around waiting for someone to call your number. That's a kind of a stupid way to not get an opportunity. So, anyway, they have a match, pretty decent stuff, the outcome was kind of expected. Bobby Lashley was going to win, but Mustafa Ali put up a decent showing, and he wouldn't give in, and Bobby Lashley really had to dig in, really send out the big guns, so to speak, with the spear and the posting Mustafa Ali multiple times, and then of course the almighty Hurt Lock, and puts Mustafa Ali away. So pretty cool stuff right there. After the match, Seth Rollins hits the curb stomp on Bobby Lashley and Mustafa Ali, and then hits Bobby Lashley again with the curb stomp, or the stomp, sorry. And they will be having a match next week on Raw after Extreme Rules. So Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, rematch for the United States title. Pretty cool stuff. Yep, cool stuff. The match itself was alright. It did its job. It got Ollie, it got Ollie on TV and giving some TV time. So let's hope he's on there. Let's hope he's on there. This isn't the end of Ollie for a while, because you never know. Ollie's had a weird relationship with WWE. Anyhow, next segment we had Steph, Ricky Rollins, and Matt Riddle have their face-to-face confrontation. No physicality allowed. So Steph really went in hard on Matt Riddle and his family. Basically saying like, "You have a good singing voice there, Riddle." Basically, do you sing your kids to bed at night? Oh wait, you're not allowed to see their asses, are you? Because you're not thinking. And he was like, you better not touch me, otherwise, because I hate, with how child support is, it's like kind of, very expensive. So he's like, trying to get in Riddle's head, and then Riddle basically said like, Hey, when was the last time you held a championship, Steph? When was the last time you main evented WrestleMania? Oh wait, you've never had main evented WrestleMania. Apart from that time when you cashed in, you know. So yeah, technically Riddle's a little bit right there, but yeah, not really. Like, Seth Rollins did cash in the main event of WrestleMania 31, so technically he did main event WrestleMania. Technically. Anyway, basically, it was a good promo, and then just as they were going back and forth on the mic, Daniel Cormier, who will be the special guest referee in the Fight Pit match at Extreme Rules, popped up on the screen and basically said that, you two have been going at it for months now, and and brawling all over the world, and this Saturday is going to come to a head, and I'm going to be the right guy in charge. So basically, it was all fun. It was fine. It did its job to that last piece of build for Extreme Rules, and then before we can move on. Sorry about the lighting, guys. It's kind of I'm going by the natural light again, and it's kind of dull outside. So yeah, pretty. So yeah, there you go. That's better. Anyhow, also it doesn't help that I'm sitting in the way of this freaking window. Anyhow, next match we had Dakota Kai taking on who did she take on? Oh, Candice. Sorry, my mind went blank for a moment. So yeah, Dakota Kai takes on Candice LeRae. An NXT match right here, pretty cool stuff to see. Match was alright, nothing too much to it. The numbers game got the better of Candice again because Candice came out alone, and Dakota Kai had damage control with her, and Candice gets rolled up and pinned. So shame that she had to lose on the second match back, but it is what it is, I guess. Continued to build on the road. Then we had Otis and Johnny Gargano, and kind of the same story, really. Otis and Gargano was kind of left alone. There was no Kevin Owens this week. There was no. I didn't even realize that until now. There was no Kevin Owens. There was no Kevin Owens. There was no Drew McIntyre, as we saw on Friday. So Johnny Gargano kind of fought the odds against Otis Gable and Austin Theory, who was at commentary. And Austin Theory, with the Money in the Bank briefcase, hits him in the back, allowing Otis to get the win. Kind of a cheap win, and I'm kind of surprised that both Johnny Gargano and Candice lost this week. But I guess they have to lose eventually, right? So, which sets up Austin Theory versus Johnny Gargano for next week on Raw. So that's pretty cool. That's gonna be good next week. But right here, kind of sucky. But it is what it is. It got to point A to point B, so to speak. Then we had that music went into the next match, which was Chad Gable taking on the Monster Among Men, the Monster Among Monsters now, Braun Strowman. This was more even than I actually imagined. I thought this was just going to be Braun going in there, squashing Chad Gable, and that would be the end of it. But yeah, Chad Gable got offense on this. It kind of did help that Otis was at ringside and kind of threw Braun Strowman over the announce table, which is a very impressive feat, may I add. Seeing someone that size, Braun Strowman's size, getting thrown by Otis with ease, amazing. But at the end of it, Otis got ejected from ringside, and that was kind of like the nail in the coffin of Mr. Chad Gable, as something like a truck happened. Something happened outside, whatever. I'll let them deal with it. Anyhow, so yeah, Braun Strowman gets the win, looking awesome as always, and he is what it is. Then we had the Bianca Belaire Bayley contract signing. It was what it was. It was a contract signing. They went back and forth. They talked trash to each other, and then they signed the contract. And then Bianca was distracted by backstage, where Asuka and Alexa Bliss were being attacked by Dakota Kai and Io Sky. They injure Asuka's leg with a chair, and Bianca Belaire, after a little bit of a scuffle with Bayley, was able to get back there, but the damage was already done. So, and then Alexa Bliss looked into the camera very menacingly, very menacingly indeed, and she challenged Io Sky to the main event. So, pretty cool stuff. There was throughout the night there was scattered throughout the night. There was QR codes and all that stuff for the White Rabbit stuff. Not going to get too much into that one. I'll let other people deal with that. It is what it is. I'm still hopeful that it's you know who, and that's all I've got to say about that. Also, Dexter Lumis had a segment with Miz where Miz was on the phone trying to get something sorted, wondering where Ciampa was and all that stuff. And Dexter kind of put that basically teasing that Dexter's going to do something at Miz's birthday party next week on Monday Night Raw, so that's going to be fun. Anyway, enough about that. We have Solo Sikoa taking on Angelo Dawkins. Again, numbers game gets the event. Get numbers game with the Usos out there and Sami Zayn, and unfortunately Montez Ford is injured and he's at ringside, but he's got a working boot on you, one of those operating boots, when walking boots basically, and he's not much help, so Angelo Dawkins was kind of left up in the open right here, and Solo Sikoa struck and defeated him. So a nice another win for Solo Sikoa as he continues his unstoppable force, being the enforcer in the bloodline. So keep your eyes open for Sami Zayn, enforcer, because that guy's fishy, man. That guy's fishy. Anyhow, that brings us to the main event. We have Io Sky taking on Alexa Bliss. It was fine. Not much to write home about when it comes to this match, but Io Sky gets the win after the numbers game again, and then after the match, Alexa and Bianca Bellaire get attacked, and Asuka tries her best to save the day with a kendo stick, but the numbers game and the injured leg affect Asuka, and basically all of them get laid out, and Bayley stands tall at the top of the ladder, just like she is on this video, in this picture, stands tall with the championship, and maybe a prelude to what's going to happen on Saturday. Who knows? We'll see that. We'll predict that in the future, right? Anyway. So yeah, pretty average show, not much to it. It was fine. There was a lot of just fine stuff, but nothing much to it. It wasn't like a must-watch episode of Monday Night Raw. So there you go, guys. That's it for now. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you again next time right here. I'm out.